The reference number 426220778.
Very good morning, people. Good morning? Yeah. So, how do you like me to call you? Smart boys and beautiful girls or brothers and sisters? Which one do you prefer? Alright. So, I don't want to put myself into a fix. I'll rather call you brothers and sisters. So, today, we had wonderful speakers here. Many of my friends are here. So, I'm here to elucidate on life. So don't think I'm a philosopher. You know this philosopher called Socrates back in history? Socrates, you know him or not? Guys, I'm asking you. Alright. So that great man, he kept advising people on how to lead life. And one fine day, during his last days, he was poisoned just for his advices. So I'm not ready to take risk here by advising you all. So things occurred and happened. I wanted to participate in ICT, ACT. So I started gathering points. The way in which I gathered points was I sat alone for some hours together. I read books, surfed the internet, but never wrote a script. I just collected points. One thing that I came across was every inspirational person whose accounts I read on the internet, they had dealt with a lot of ordeals in their life. You know, today's generation has changed a lot. I went to a child, after having read Swami Vivekananda's book, I went and said, "See child, you have a fire within you." You know what? The smart kid, it answered me, "Brother, before you could proceed, let me tell you something. I drink water every day. Don't you think it would have been put off?" So this is the reply the child gave me. Children today are smarter than you or me were. So how do you deal with the ordeals in life? Because life is like a sea or an ocean. Sometimes you might think, why do I have to face a lot of problems in life? Why can't it be just simple? If you sail on a boat, on a sea or on an ocean, and if it's plain without any waves or tides, I tell you, you have to put in all your effort to reach your destination. Whereas, if you have waves and tides, they facilitate you in your journey and your endeavor towards your destination. And that's how life is. Whatever might be the problem you face, why worry? Why spiral down? See, as far as India is concerned, let me tell you something. It's been 70 years since we got independence, with the Independence Day of this year. Yet, this is a fact that we are not yet independent from the Western cultures. Of course, certain Western cultures have added up to advantages and development, but the pubs, clubs, and all those that are deteriorating the strength of the youth has not yet changed. When are we going to become independent of that? Our culture is highly deteriorating at a rapid pace. It's we who have to take care of that. But when? See people, we are being judged in many ways. This nation, we call it unity in diversity, highly diverse. We are being judged in many ways. See, for example, let me give you a tiny example, a very small example that everyone here can understand. I give you an outline of a picture, alright, and I give you a pack of color pencils. You have all the primary colors, all the shades, all the other shades too, and I'm giving you a picture of some cartoon or something. And I ask you to color. Will you be using all the color pencils in it? Not necessarily, only a few colors. So the used color pencils will get shortened and the unused will stay in the same height. After completing that picture, you'll put them all back in the same pack. And that's how we are. Each student is of a new color. Each student has his own unique color. We are in the same pack called youth, the student community. But what picture have we colored till now? I'm sorry to say this, but we haven't done any significant picture yet. Of course, yesterday, many of our friends said Sakshi Malik has really made a significant victory. It's for our nation. But that isn't enough. Some people ask me, you've been talking about this for a long time, but what have you done to the community? You know, right from my schooling days, I said, see, we've been learning all subjects, but no one is a jack of his own skill. I'm basically a person who's very much interested in computer science. I have a blog of my own. I write some poems, and I'm an artist too. So I created an application, a mobile app, for my blog. It's an interface where you can view my blog with a mobile application. I went and showed it to my physics teacher. That teacher is a very good teacher. She really encouraged me a lot about my application because I had done it some 2 or 3 years ago. And then she said, "Oh, very fine, you've got such a good skill. At this age, you're even able to do this." And I said, "Yeah, okay ma'am, so what should I do further? Your unit test is coming up, study for that." Unfortunately, even very good teachers are put under pressure to make students learn what the so-called education system today has. Today, we do not have education. We have educate and shun. Our skills are being shunned. We have a lot of avenues. We are wildly growing plants covered by a glass box. What will happen if you cover a wildly growing plant with a glass box? Imagine about it. Sunlight is highly essential for every plant on this earth. When you put a glass box over it, it will receive the sunlight. It will tend to grow, but its growth will be obstructed. And that's what? The glass box is nothing else, our own minds. It's we who have to change. What's the problem with us? What's basically wrong with this whole nation? Actually, there was, I won't call it a debate, there was a talk going on here with the first contestant, I suppose, where she was telling India is a developing nation. You should be seeing here, "Arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is achieved." India has not yet achieved its goal. I'm a part of you too. I'm not addressing you, I'm including myself. I'm speaking in a collective sense. We are yet to achieve. So what is the backbone of India? The backbone of India is a youth and a spirituality. Please not mistake me here for specifying spirituality, because spirituality has nothing to do with the religions that we follow today. Alright? See, take the example of electricity. Light, I'm speaking to you. Audio waves. Alright? And you have many such applications of electricity. But will you ever call that electricity is partial? Not at all. It's just electricity. And so is spirituality. It is just one aspect of life with which people can enrich themselves and enhance themselves in every aspect they could. But unfortunately, over the years, after the Westerners had left the country, we have been putting ourselves into a twirl, and we've been confusing ourselves with religions and spirituality, and we've really had a lot of it. Enough of it. We have to rise and we have to wake, just like the previous contestant told. And today, I'm not here to give any speech. I'm here to talk with you. Let's be quite open. What do we have to do if we need to lead a peaceful life? People say, once a relative of mine, he's working in one of the famous IT firms. I went and asked him, "So uncle, what are you actually working for?" He told all these technological terms. No, I'm not asking for that. What impact have you got in your life because of this? He told, "See, I'm earning for happiness." But the truth is that people are yearning for happiness today. They aren't actually earning for happiness. So what are we to do? People, together, we have to stay in unity and harmony. And that can only elevate the problems that we're already having and take us and escalate us to the next level, the next plane. India is no inferior. We have to achieve it. All of you would have known the story, Mahabharata, right? In that, the son of Arjuna, Abhimanyu, breaks into Chakravyuh, right? Today's students are just like Abhimanyu. They can break into any entrance examinations, but they don't know how to come out successfully. And that's what we have to focus on. Education is an important aspect. I don't deny that. But we have to focus on how to lead a life well. So this is it, students. I've been telling you a lot of examples. And one more thing I will add at last. My mother is running a center for the autistic children. An autism spectrum disorder, it's called. It's a disorder with the brain development of children. 15 or 16 years. The degree of that disorder varies with people and the age. It's very bad even to share it with you. They might be 15 or 16-year-old people. They don't even know how to help themselves in the toilet. They need their parents at the behind of them. But we people today are highly conscious of what we are doing, and yet we haven't done anything to society. Where are we? Think about it. The only solution I can give you is that spend few hours introspecting and see what you can do. Set a goal and achieve it. Correct yourself, and the others around you will correct themselves. And if a community changes, the city changes. If the city, the state, and the state, the nation, and if the nation, the whole world. So all I can conclude at last is that we are together here. India is not just a nation. So at last, there's one single thing that can help us: unity. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.
Vinay.
Thank you, sir.
And so I think there are two main things. One is cultural thing you are talking about.
Yes.
Another is the educational aspect.
Yes, sir.
So on this cultural note, do you think how we can go about a change?
Sir, the fact is that we've lost the olden cultures. I'm not asking everyone to adapt whatever has been followed for thousands of years together. Of course, the Western cultures have brought in some good developments for a nation. I don't deny that. But we should not change entirely from our own culture, leaving out our traditionality and our originality. Because if you lose your originality, then who are you going to be? You cannot be identified. It's not just being called an Indian. You have your own identity. I have my own identity. And for our identity to be there, to be identified uniquely, we need to follow the culture what at least our family has been following all these years. So to focus mainly on the culture, I feel that schools can provide certain sessions for the culture, because usually till the 7th or 8th grade we have this model class and all that, but when you come to 10th standard they start focusing mainly on the entrance examinations, but that is the age where we have to primarily focus on the characters of students, because the teenage is where people totally turn entirely. That's the age of distinction where people get into a lot of facts. They come to know what life is. So that's probably the time where people have to get into a lot of model class sessions and help students in order to better themselves for the future.
Okay. But so what is your observation in your close circle? So you feel, pretty much the others' opinion is same as you, or if at all it is different, do you think after a point of time, and you guys, all will be on same page in terms of opinion perspective? I mean, just a thought. I mean, because only, if we 5 people around us, we could able to, not change, but at least, to bring in sync in terms of understanding what is right, wrong. And then only, we can, 50, 5,000, 5 lakh, we can get into that stage. So what is your observation so far?
At my close circle, I've been speaking to some people. Some of my friends, some of my close friends, I would rather say, when I speak these kind of topics, they haven't been that much receptive. But a few of my best friends, they've been highly receptive to the same thing what I've spoken here. So the basic problem is that, like one of our friends shared, the attitude of students matters a lot. So only when the right attitude is set in the mind of students, they can get into the next stage of changing themselves. So changing the attitude is within us, sir. I can just show you the path. It's you who have to travel. As such, the attitude has to be changed by the student himself. And for that to happen, I feel that education has got a significant part. And answering your question, in my close circle, I haven't seen a vast difference of any cultural problems being faced, especially in Tamil Nadu, because as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, I've been seeing the culture is better than any other state. But seeing all the crimes that we're seeing in the news every day, it is sad to see that people are forgetting their culture. So there's some loophole with which people are committing all these crimes. So somewhere people are living out their cultures. The only way to do this can be each and every person should change from within. That's what I would say.
Okay, thanks, Vinay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sastha,
Yes, sir.
good speech. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There are a few things that I was inspired with. One is about the comfort zone and coming out of it. You were talking about the water, calm waters, and like a fish going against it. So that was good.
Thank you, sir.
You made another thing about making a picture, making a bold picture.
Yes, sir.
Basically, I felt youth of today need to have a picture about themselves.
Precisely.
Rather than carry a picture that has happened in the past, but have a clarity on what can be and make a difference, right? So my question to you is, have you painted your own picture? How would you like to visualize your life? Because all this topic, this entire topic is about self-introspection. Because if I look at it, advices may not help.
Yes.
You can only ignite people to make a difference, correct? So how have you painted a picture, number one? Secondly, how do you inspire others to paint a picture for themselves?
Well, sir, to answer precisely to your question, since my schooling, I've been very active in all the talking sessions. I've hosted programs at my school. I've compared. And the only thing, after having read Swami Vivekananda's book, and after my greatest inspiration for life is Swami Vivekananda, and on the technological and academic side, it's Bill Gates. So these two people, I've set them in my mind. But see, any person cannot be like someone. They can just be like someone. They cannot be the other one. You cannot walk in any other person's shoes. So how I've painted my picture is that I am always unique wherever I go. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. But I don't need to change myself for some silly reason that someone else is trying to stop me with. Because painting, as you said, realizing your own self, introspecting, and painting your own picture is more important. Because this whole world is like a computer display. It's being made up of a lot of pixels. Only if each pixel has its own color, you can make a brighter picture. And just like that is the youth of this community. Each and every student should paint himself a better picture. So how I've painted myself is that I am bold, I can face any situation that comes to me, and I am unique. I have my own set of skills with which I can survive very well in this nation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Brother,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I just have one clarification to ask.
Go ahead, sir.
It is somewhat related to what another brother Raghunathan asked. Just because the topic you chose and the way you spoke, it's above. The plane is really higher at your age, is my opinion. I'm not going to give a feedback. I'm just trying to seek clarification. Is this thought process or the topic and what you shared all conceived and presented by you?
So actually I thought of giving out this point as a part of my speech, but thank you for asking me this question. I would like to clarify it here. This is not something I've prepared with this short period of 10 days or something. Some of this is inherited wisdom from my dad and my mom. So that has got biology involved in it. And some of which are derived. I read a lot of inspirational books. So some of which I've derived. And I've put them together. And with my perspective and my view of life, I have formed some theories, not theories exactly, philosophies of my own, which I've given out to students here.
So coming back almost close to what Brother Raghunandan said, how does your peers, that is your relatives or classmates of your batchmates of age band, look at things or look at what you say? How do they treat you?
No, so to be very frank, I've spoken this only here because the reason why I don't speak to friends about this is that sometimes they may get very bored with this. This has to reach the right audience at the right time, the right way. So it took me a lot of days to put it right, because see this point, all these points were there with me right from grade 8, as I was telling you, right from my schooling. I've been developing all these points in my mind. So all these are cumulative, I would say. But for this speech, as I came across this competition, I made a structure on how I could deliver this effectively to students. I have spoken to my friends, but not much of them. Only to those who have been interested in this. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.